solution you've come up with for us. One of those romantic boy meets girl, boy loses girl.
What is up,
stories.
you guys? Gold Pony here, and during this time of the year, I tend to get nostalgic looking back on all the awesome drives I had the privilege to experience in 2016. And when I went back to tally them up, I actually had the opportunity to review 94 cars in 2016, and that is freaking awesome. And that is thanks to you guys and all the awesome dealerships, of course, for allowing me the chance to actually check out these cars. So with that being said, this year has been an absolute blast for me, and now here is my second annual top 5 drives of 2016. Let's go. Number 5, the 2016 Lexus GS F. And this one made my top 5 first off because of its naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 putting out 467 horsepower with the 7,300 RPM red line. So you can pretty much tell right there, it was an absolute blast to drive. And of course, in addition to that amazing power, there were several different drive modes as well. One of them being Sport S Plus, which tightens the suspension and modifies the steering wheel. Definitely made it that much more fun. And another really cool thing about those driving modes is when you change the driving mode, it modified the gauge cluster setup as well. And the GSF already had awesome gauges because they're inspired by the LFA, the supercar that they used to have. And of course, these gauges show G-force statistics as well, so that was awesome. But yeah, like I said, it changed the colors and the setup a little bit of the gauges, so I was definitely a fan of that. And in addition to the awesome acceleration, it also had awesome stopping power thanks to the massive Brembo rotors, 14.9 inches up front and 13.5 inches in the back. So Lexus really thought of everything when it basically made a race car developed for the street. Last thing I wanted to mention on this one is the interior topped it all off for me. Lexus always makes amazing interiors, and this one was no different. Of course, they had sport seats with more aggressive bolstering because of the power, and there were fast reacting paddle shifters as well, but also there were racing pedals, and so between it all, that is why the Lexus GSF made my top 5. But then, moving on to number 4, the 2017 Ford Mustang GT. And this is the second year in a row the Mustang GT has made my top 5 list because I am a huge fan of this car. And basically the reason being, my favorite part about this one is out of all those cars, I told you I reviewed 94 different cars in 2016, the Mustang GT, believe it or not, has the smoothest shifter that I experienced as far as manuals go. So of course it did come with the short shifter, and the grab points were very easy to find, and it was just so easy to shift through the gears almost effortlessly. So honestly, if there was a good car to even learn manual on, I would say the Ford Mustang GT is right up there with them. But then of course you had the V8 engine as well. That puts you to 60 in 4.4 seconds, which was also definitely fun. And I had the option to switch between a few different driving modes, including normal, snow, wet, sport, and track. So that was definitely awesome as well. And one of the sweetest things that all Mustangs actually do that I'm a huge fan of is for that 435 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, you can kind of check your statistics through something called track apps, which gives you the ability to check your 0 to 60 times, 60 to 0 times, quarter mile times, basically every statistic you will want to check having a fast car like the Mustang GT. So that was the last thing I wanted to mention on that one. Next one, number 3, the 2017 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. And of course, it's got the 0 to 60 time of only 3.6 seconds, and the summer performance tires on this one definitely stuck to the road very well. And so this is essentially a Z51 Stingray, but with the aerodynamics of a Z06, and actually, in my opinion, looks better than the Z06 as well, because there's some additional aerodynamics found on this one that the Z06 actually doesn't have. Like the side skirts on this one definitely looks amazing, ties in with the rest of the car perfectly, but the Z06 does not have that. And of course you get the fender flares, they definitely look awesome as well, and actually the tire setup on the Grand Sport is exactly the same as the Z06. So as far as the width goes of those rear tires, it's the exact same thing. But in addition, this one also comes with massive Brembo rotors, which I was a huge fan of, magnetic ride control, which basically adjusts the suspension to different road conditions and your driving style as well. That is awesome. And the last thing I loved on this one was the awesome muscular exhaust sound. So anyways, I always like to show you guys, here's that exhaust clip. But now moving on to my number 2 pick for 2016, the 2017 Audi RS7. And so let me start by saying on this one, Audi's website claims this 0 to 60 time is going to come in at 3.6 seconds. However, when I was driving this one, I believe I mentioned something like, this one feels so much faster than that. So the 0 to 60 in 3.6 on this one, it feels so much quicker than that. It is an absolutely ridiculous acceleration for a four-door. I can't handle it, you guys. And looking back on it, I was right. Motor Trend actually clocked this one in at 3.2 seconds. And this is a four-door sedan. 3.2 seconds for a four-door is absolutely ridiculous, and it felt like that. The 2017 RS7 puts out 605 horsepower, top speed of 190 miles per hour. Of course, there's different driving modes, and if you guys have ever played with Audi Dynamic Select, you know that one of the best things about these driving modes is when you put it in dynamic, the steering feel gets super heavy and instantly points you in the direction that you want to go. So this is definitely a car for those who want complete control over the feel. And of course, Audi is known for super quick paddle shift times, and this one was no different. And the RS7 also came boasting ceramic brakes as well, which look awesome and stopped amazing. But then lastly, in 2016, that brings me to my number one pick. And if you guys are watching all my reviews for 2016, this one is going to be pretty obvious. This is the 2017 Audi R8. And once again, Audi has understated their 0 to 60 numbers on this one. They were claiming 3.2 seconds on their website. Motor Trend clocked it in at 2.6. And actually, when they did their comparison test with a bunch of different other crazy supercars like the GTR, the Audi R8 blew everybody away, coming in first. Of course, this one has a top speed of 205 miles per hour, which is absolutely ridiculous, but awesome as well. But it's not just the power on this one. Part of what makes this car so freaking sweet is there's so many lightweight carbon fiber components on this one as well. Not only on the sides of the car, but the rear spoiler, since I had the V10 Plus, that one was also carbon fiber. And a bunch of details around the engine. Basically, the carbon fiber was everywhere, making this car so much lighter and therefore so much more fun to drive. And then this one also came with Audi ceramic brakes, stopping the car on a dime. And there were insanely quick paddle shifter times because this is an Audi and they are known for that. So that was super fun as well. And then lastly, I wanted to mention on this one, one of the best exhaust sounds definitely I heard all year. So let me leave you guys with that one. Here is that exhaust clip. So yeah, another year down, and I'm very excited to see what 2017 has got to offer. And I wanted to say thank you guys again for watching and supporting the channel, because honestly, your support just pushes me harder and makes me want to continue to push the channel to a whole nother level, and that's what I plan on doing in 2017. So yeah, that's about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.